Hey guys, so in this module of the free email marketing course that I'm publishing onto my channel, we're going to be covering how to build out the customer win-back flow within your Klaviyo account for your Shopify brand, or WooCommerce, BigCommerce, whatever, right? So pretty much how this tutorial is going to be broken down is I'm going to explain what the customer win-back flow is designed to do, and then I'm going to show you guys how to build it out on Klaviyo Live, as well as show you some design template examples of the content that we're able to produce as an agency for the clients that we work with. By the way, if you're a brand watching this, I don't know why you're doing email marketing yourself. You should just outsource it because it's not top of funnel and it's not the highest leverage thing you should be focusing on as an e-com founder, right? Anyways, let's dive into it. So basically, first things first, you always want to start by going into the flow section, and we're going to go ahead and find the Winback template. So the one that we actually want to do is going to be the standard template as opposed to the A/B test time delay template. Testing two time delays is okay, but it's not super high leverage. Obviously, if you want to include some SMS, then pick the SMS flow, but because this is an email only tutorial, we're going to go with the standard one, right? So we're always going to name this the agency name with customer winback, something like that, right? And we're just going to go ahead and create a flow. Now, what the customer win-back flow is designed to do is essentially, as the name suggests, win back a customer that has not bought from you in a while, right? So obviously, it's not just about having a 75-day time delay with a bunch of emails. You really got to understand the mindset of someone who hasn't bought from you for so long, right? So basically, let me dive into that customer psychographic first of all, right? So that customer either hasn't bought back from you for one of these reasons. They've forgotten about you. They didn't actually use the product itself once it arrived. They didn't like the product, or they want to buy it, but it's one of those things which is you have a bottle of supplements, it's about to run out, and you're just I could probably buy it another time. I could wait a little bit. I can't be asked to place the order right now. And there's just no real incentive for people to buy right now, right? So essentially this flow gives them a reason to, and also handles any potential objections that they might have had around the original product. So that's what essentially the flow is designed to do. Now, when it comes to configuring the time delay, the thing that you got to factor in is if you want to delay until a specific time of day, because you see that with your campaigns, a certain time of day performs really, really well for your audience, then you're going to want to select the time of day, but you're probably going to want to select local recipient's local time zone as opposed to whatever time zone you have the account set to, right? And then in terms of the time delay, let me go over how to actually configure this in reality. So if you're selling a product that is designed to be consumed within, let's say, a 30-day window, right? You're going to want to add a 2.5x multiple in terms of that designated cycle. So let's say I'm selling a bottle of supplements that's a 30-day supply, right? I'm gonna multiply 30 days by 2.5, which equates to 75, and I'm gonna set the customer win back at that amount of days. However, if you're selling a non-consumable product, the rule of thumb is to refresh it at every season or every launch or every product cycle that you guys actually do. So for example, if you're in the fashion space, right, people tend to want to renew their wardrobe every season, or they might want to buy something as the seasons change. So in that case, you want to sync it to, let's say, a 90-day basis, right? Because that's 1/4 of the year, right? And after 90 days, generally people are either looking to come back and buy from you or are in the market for a very similar product like yours. So that would be jewelry, fashion, accessories, etc. However, if you're in a, let's say a fast consumable space, let's say not a supplement, but rather, you're selling 14 cans of drinks or cereal or something, which generally gets consumed within about a week or so, right? Then you're gonna wanna have the customer win back as, let's say, 30 days, maybe even 45. Right? So you really want to time the customer win-back sequence to the purchasing cycles of your audience. And if you're, let's say, a drop-based brand and you're doing really hyped up product launches, you're going to want to sync back the customer win-back sequences with the dates that you roughly do the launches, right? So that's basically that. Now let's talk about the actual content itself. First things first, I always like to disable smart sending, because smart sending is just honestly, it's not that relevant, to be honest. So once smart sending has been disabled, you're going to want to go ahead and hit save, and then let's talk about the actual content itself, right? So this is an example of a cosmetics lashes brand that we worked with called Lola Lashes. They're pretty big in the UK, and essentially this is their customer win-back flow. right? Which basically just presents them with an offer saying, hey, get 15% off your next order, because their audience themselves are relatively price sensitive, right? So basically, just by serving them the relevant offer, they can convert a pretty big portion of their audience. Now, obviously, if you're a product that needs a bit more education, or maybe if you're dropshipping, right, the first order took a while to reach the customer, of course, people are gonna have different objections in their heads about why they don't wanna actually place an order with you guys again, right? So if you're a dropshipper, in the customer win-back sequence, you might want to include some things around like, oh, we've actually improved our shipping times, or like we've upped the product quality, we've included better packaging, etc. Like we've made the product better without raising the price, so you're getting better value for money, as well as giving some pretty nice incentives for people to buy from you again, right? But because this brand did pretty much everything right from a brand perspective, just serving people simple offers can convert a pretty big portion of the people that are eligible for Winback, right? So essentially what we would do is we would just take this template, slice them up, upload them as image blocks inside of Klaviyo, and we're pretty much good to go. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do exactly that right now. So basically what you're gonna wanna do is, if you're using Figma as your design tool of choice, you're gonna go ahead and press S, the S key on your laptop or desktop or whatever, and you're just gonna create a slice, right? Every slice should be created based on what CTAs you're driving the traffic to, right? So for example, this is gonna be slice number 1. I'm just gonna make sure it covers all of the text and everything. Zoom in to make sure it's not going any extra outside of the range. And because this is gonna get driven to another product page, right? So we're gonna wanna do this as the slice number 2, and we're just gonna lower it down a little bit so that it doesn't overlap with the other slice. Drag this out a tiny bit just to make sure it aligns, boom. And then we're gonna create another slice right here, which is gonna be covering this section right here. And the final section already has a slice to it, so I don't really need to add any more slices. The only last thing I need to slice is this portion of the email right here. So boom, so that's all done. Now what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna export all of this, right, as a JPEG like I always do, and I'm gonna upload them inside of Klaviyo. So I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight all of the different slices, and I believe this slice is this one right here, so we're just gonna drag this down to maybe here. Slice 1, slice 2, slice 3, slice 4. Oh, that's 4. And slice 5. So we're gonna export all of these as individual slices. Boom, export as a JPEG, export slice. We're gonna call this LL Customer Winback 1.1. So 1.1 slice. So email 1 slice 1, export as a JPEG. Again, you always want to export this as a JPEG, guys, just because otherwise it might have a transparent background, and also JPEG is a lossy compression algorithm, so the file sizes will be smaller as well. So we're going to call this Customer Winback 1.2 to signify the second slice. Export again. LLCW 1.3, boom, and 1.4, so it's LLCW 1.4, boom, 1.5, there you go. Now, if you're finding all of this tedious and you're looking at this design like, oh my God, this is really nice, I could never do something like that, you'd probably be right, because I can't even design like this. This is all done by my team. So yeah, you should just book in a call and get my team to do it for you, essentially. They're really good. CW, LLCW 1.5, I think that was the final slice. Yeah. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take it over to Klaviyo. We're gonna first of all edit the subject lines and the preview text, right? So I'm probably gonna say something like, come back and get 15% off. Obviously this is very generic. I'm not putting too much thought into this. Your lashes are waiting. I mean, these are, yeah, like I wouldn't take these as like excellent copywriting or whatever, but this is what it is, right? So pretty much, I made like a joking product page ages ago. So now that we're inside of this template, we're just gonna go ahead and delete these blocks because honestly, they're not super relevant. And we're gonna go ahead and delete this section, drag in an image block like we always do. And we're gonna delete the header bit as well. Just delete that. Boom, upload the images, link up the relevant URLs. So for this, it would be LLCW1, upload, and we're gonna go to Lola Lashes to their URL. I think it's Lola Lashes UK, that's fine. And for this, we're probably gonna send them to the collections page, right? As opposed to anything else. Send them to the collections page. Alt text description is just like, get your lashes for your next order. Now, the reason why I don't put 15% a lot of the time or include discounts in the alt text, sometimes I do, it doesn't necessarily matter as much. It's just because the alt text is the thing that loads prior to the image loading. And if you put like 15, the percentage sign, discounts, this, that, buy one, get one free, whatever, save dollars, like the dollar sign, it's actually like a spam trigger in that sense because it feels like, you know, it's like a financial email or whatever. But basically that's why I put the alt text like that. We're gonna add the collections page, make sure the padding is removed so that it looks nice and smooth in terms of the borders. And we're just gonna hit done. We're gonna drag another block right underneath here, right? And we're gonna then upload image 2. Make sure it's linked to the relevant product itself, right? So I'll go ahead and find the product page URL and just put LW Gold Digger. I think there's actually a spelling error here. I'll go ahead and fix that. Gold Digger. No, it's actually called Gold Digger. I think, yeah, it's actually called Gold Digger. All right, Gold Digger, Russian hybrid. So basically for the product display sections, I like to just use the product names itself, magnetic lash. And obviously with Russia having a lot of sanctions, I'd probably remove the Russian part from this just in case it becomes like a spam keyword or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's not, but you know, just in case. Then we're gonna link to the product page itself, which is gonna be right here. Make sure the link is pasted in, boom. And then we're just gonna add the rest of the image blocks. Now, a lot of the time, honestly, I get a bunch of hate for using just image blocks pretty much in our emails. Of course, we use tables and stuff like that as well, but it's a bit more rare. And people are commenting, oh, you're gonna have deliverability issues. But the thing is, I promise you, I've been doing this for years. We don't have deliverability issues. Why? Because we do 9 out of the 10 things correct. And if we were to upload this as like HTML or custom code everything, not only is it going to take a bunch of time, but it also inevitably compromises the aesthetics of the email by a lot, simply because the skill set required to do that is just like so much higher and takes like 5-6 hours more to actually do it like that. And everyone that comments giving me hate about the whole HTML thing, what they do is literally they drag like a button by default from Klaviyo, change the colors, and that's the thing that they use, and they use like native text blocks. Their emails, long story short, looks like shit. So that's why we've traded aesthetics and branding for a little bit of load speed delays on the email front, but long term, it's gonna give you better branding, better results, and it's not really gonna impact deliverability if you manage everything right. So feel free to do it like this, and we're essentially gonna upload the rest of the creatives, and we're basically good to go, and I'm just gonna show you what this looks like from a preview perspective right here. So as you can see on mobile, this is what it roughly looks like in terms of getting your first order. You can see we design above the fold, so it's like nicely put into your mobile's aspect ratios. Even with the top bar factored in, you scroll down, and obviously we would add the rest of the email all in. And you can even see like the email size is fine, you know? Send a test to your email, and you'll be able to go ahead and exit and put this live. So that's essentially how to actually build out the content for a customer win-back flow inside of Klaviyo. And if you actually want access to this file right here with literally flows for 10 brands that we've done, all nicely organized into various pages, right? If you want access to this flow template, subscribe to my newsletter. I'll send you a link to this Figma file along with over 250 email templates of campaign examples that we've actually done in the past as well. So it's gonna give you a ton of inspiration, as well as I send out like newsletters basically giving you guys e-commerce growth tips, hacks specific to email marketing, Facebook ads, conversion rate optimization, etc. So yeah, if you're a brand watching this, feel free to book in a call with myself. We don't really have any like brand sizes that we work with. We work now with small brands as well as to like 9-figure brands. They're all within our portfolio. We can work with brands of any size. So just drop a call to me, and I'd love to see what we can do together for your brand in terms of helping you guys grow. So thank you guys so much for watching. Looking forward to seeing you in the subsequent modules of this free email marketing course that I'm doing on my channel. See ya.